Good morning and welcome to News Lounge. I'm Tom Hartley.
And I'm Maritza Munoz. Good morning.
And over here we've got Georgie covering our sports and weather today. How you doing this morning, George?
Good, thanks, guys.
Good.
That's great, Georgie. We've also got Amber's regular Thursday tech segment coming up later in the show.
Excellent. But for now, we're going to cross over to Kathy, who's got some news for us, believe it or not.
Hi guys, how are you doing this morning? Well. That's good, let's get into the news. Making news today on Thursday, the 15th of November, 2012. US President Barack Obama has insisted on raising taxes for the richest Americans if they are to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff at his first post-election press conference. President Obama is willing to compromise, but higher taxes for the wealthiest 2% are vital to avert the series of automatic tax increases and deep spending cuts which will kick in at the end of the year. Obama also promised to confront the inconvenient truth, taking a lead on tackling the effects of climate change. Queensland Housing Minister Bruce Flegg has resigned from his position days after a former state member accused Flegg of sloppy administration within his office. Former media advisor Graham Hullett went public on Tuesday accusing Dr. Flegg of not accurately documenting interactions between him and his son, who works for the lobbying firm Rowland. Flegg was also accused of altering his diary, stating he'd spent time working in his Brisbane electorate when he was actually practicing medicine. Premier Campbell Newman stated Flegg knew the high standard that was expected of him and thus tendered his resignation as minister. There are talks of Australia keeping some forces in Afghanistan after United States Defence Secretary Leon Panetta visited the barracks of the Special Air Services Regiment in Perth to meet with troops who had fought in the country. Mr. Panetta said in a media conference it was worth considering a deployment of Australian Special Forces to assist in maintaining security in Afghanistan after 2014. Brisbane-based forensic crews have joined Macleay Island Police to investigate what's believed to be the community's first murder. Police were called to an 87-year-old woman's residence when she failed to answer phone calls from family members. So we seem to be having some difficulty there with a video we had from that story, but we'll continue. The Queensland Parliament has passed legislation that intends to give local councils more power. This extra authority will allow local government to establish laws, permit councillors to maintain their positions while challenging state government elections, and provide for advisory polls to be held in the areas proposing de-amalgamation. The 26 principals of Queensland's new independent public schools met for the first time last week to discuss plans for new Independent Schools Initiative. The Department of Education, Training and Employment has urged for them to use their independence wisely and innovate the ways the next generation of leaders are educated. The state government has been accused of trying to cover up the volume of potential harmful dust emanating from coal trains. The Port of Brisbane's long-term plan to expand coal exports from Fisherman's Island could double the number of coal trains passing through Brisbane, Ipswich and Toowoomba. With the wind carrying coal dust for kilometres, the dust can cause respiratory problems and pose a risk of long-term lung and heart disease. Prime Minister Gillard attended a community cabinet meeting in Brisbane's north last night. Around 400 people gathered to question Ms Gillard and ministers on topics ranging from marine parks to replacing lost funding from the state government with money from the federal coffers for community organisations. A new committee to oversee the commemoration of the First World War's centenary has been established. Retired Lieutenant General Mark Evans is heading the group, which will operate in Brisbane from 2014 to 2018. The committee's purpose is to ensure the contribution made to Queenslanders in the war is recognised with the appropriate dignity and honour. Recurring signal faults at Caboolture and Ipswich, on the Caboolture and Ipswich lines continue to give commuters headaches. Yesterday was the second day in a row that services were heavily delayed. Queensland Rail Executive General Manager of Rail Operations, Kevin Wright, said it was the resulting of signal equipment failure and apologised for the disruption. 3 fires have been reported overnight in Queensland, with 1 confirmed fatality at the Gold Coast. At 1 a.m. this morning, crews responded to calls stating a mobile home was ablaze at Casino Village, a caravan park at Carina. Police are yet to identify the victim. The future of a kindergarten program in Wooloowin is in limbo after community groups were told to get out of the state-owned site. The community place has been in the area for 30 years, with the kindy program catering for 22 families. The organisation was told to vacate this year but asked for an extended period. Childcare Queensland CEO Gwen Bridge said the centre closing is traumatic for children. A West End Welfare Agency is concerned more locals than ever before will be living without power after Christmas. Macar Project says Queensland has the highest rate of disconnections, and with extra guests and bills stacking up over the festive season, many will go without. The agency has received consistent pleas for help over the past 2 years. It helps those struggling to pay their electricity bills more regularly and looks at payment plans where needed. And finally, automotive giant Toyota will recall millions of vehicles worldwide due to a faulty steering problem. This will be the 2nd recall for the program in the past month. That's all we've got in for the news for you this morning. Sorry, I'll be back later if we have any breaking news, but otherwise I believe we've got some events discussing later and some great interviews. So back to you guys.
We do.
Thanks, Catherine. How's that about the Toyotas? Imagine that. If you're going for your test in a little Prius or something.
Yeah,
Turn left
true.
here. Sorry, mate, I can't. That'd be interesting.
We've actually got a Toyota in our family, so I'm not going to be driving it anytime
you
soon.
steer clear of that one.
Steer clear.
Clever.
Good work.
Punny. Well, that's it for that. We're going to head over now and see what's happening in the weather.
With Georgie.
Thanks, guys. You can tell it's definitely heating up towards Christmas. Let's see what's happening in the weather today. Brisbane is in for a fine and partly cloudy day with light, moderate to northwesterly to northeasterly winds. We can expect a top of 31 degrees today in the city and 29 Bayside. The Gold Coast will also be fine and partly cloudy with a top of 29. The Sunshine Coast is fine and mostly sunny at 30. Ipswich is in for a scorcher at 35 on a fine and partly cloudy day. Around the state, Cairns is having a morning shower or 2 with a top of 31. Townsville is fine and mostly sunny at 31. Mackay also fine and mostly sunny at 29. Rockhampton fine and sunny at 31. And Mount Isa will be fine and sunny with a very hot top of 38. And that's all we've got for today. Pass it over back to you guys.
Thanks,
Looks
George.
like it's going to be very hot around the state.
Definitely keen for a bit of beach action, I'd say.
Very much so. Anything happening in the Gold Coast region, Georgie?
It's going to be nice this weekend. I know you're going to the beach, aren't you,
I
Maritza?
am.
Well, that's good. Well, that's all we've got time for at the moment.
Yeah, once we get back from the break, I'll be passing the hot seat on to our tech guru, Amber, who will be interviewing Chris Kettle from my247.com.au. Don't go away.
Welcome back to News Lounge. As it is Thursday, we're joined today, as usual on Thursdays, with our tech-savvy woman, Amber. How you doing today, Amber?
I'm good, Tom. How are you?
That's very well, thanks. And who have we got over here today, Amber?
Well, I have brought with me today Chris Kettle from my247.com.au. Hello, Chris.
Hi there, guys. How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Very
Thanks for
well.
joining us, Chris. Alrighty, so we're going to kick it off with a bit of a background on Chris. So he is actually the CEO and developer for my247.com.au.
Yes.
That's correct. .au, remember that one. So it's been around for a while now, but can you tell us a little bit about the website and why you decided to launch it?
Sure. Yeah, it's back in '99 when not many people were on the internet. I came to Brisbane, as you do, and it's impossible to find out what was going on. You know, you had to pick up newspapers, magazines, or indeed actually know someone who knows what was going on. So we decided to build a website, Brisbane 24/7 it was called at the time. Those were the days when no one knew what 24/7 actually meant, you know. And over the time we've grown it to be national, so we're now in every city. Today we have 500,000 visitors who use the site online on mobile, and yeah, we're just growing it day by day.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
And so what about this new business venture of yours called Hungry Hero? This new app, I actually downloaded it this morning. Pretty fantastic, I might say so myself. But yeah, tell us a little bit about that one.
Thank you, Tommy. Yeah, well, this new app, Hungry Hero, has been 9 months in the making. Essentially, it's for iPhone and Android users who can download the app and find out great offers which you can use instantly nearby. Everyone loves going out, just like we all do, so you can find places to go for food, for lunch, and there's a few unique things that you can secure the offer straight away on the phone. You don't need to phone the venue, which is always kind of annoying. And yeah, it only kicked off last week in Brisbane.
Fantastic. So I can only assume that Hungry Hero came off the popularity of other deal sites such as Scoop-On and Living Social. Can you tell us how Hungry Hero differs from those apps and sites?
Definitely, those sites have been very popular. Everyone we know has bought one of these deals. But the thing is, when you look into it, there's a lot of people who've actually had quite bad experiences. Because you've got to pay up front, and then if you don't use it, you lose the money, which is kind of annoying. You know, you've still got to phone the venue, and people have trouble booking in. So what we did with Hungry Hero is we made it completely free for the venues to start with. So it's like an Australian first marketing platform, so they can add their offers for free, and then as a user, we allow you to secure the offer on your phone, and all you do is pay $1 to secure it up front, and then you pay the rest of the venue. So it makes it really easy for group booking. So we've all been in that awkward social moment where, you know, you buy tickets for somebody and then they don't come, and then they owe you $20, and you know, whereas this one,
It's messy.
It does get messy, you know, very awkward. So it fixes all that. And yeah, we're really excited. We've had 2,000 downloads so far.
That's excellent.
Been on the front page of the App Store, on the iTunes App Store, which is pretty cool.
Little feature there.
Yeah, and they keep plugging it, and we've now got the new passbook feature. So anyone with an iPhone with the new software, it means you can, as you walk up to the restaurant, your booking just flashes up on your phone. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's
Chris,
so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about some of the restaurants that you've got on board, or some of the
So
places.
yeah, so we've right across Brisbane, basically any venue can come on board. We've had some great offers from people like Eves on the River in Tenerife, Moo Moo in the city.
Oh, I love that.
We've got steaks at the Spring Hill Hotel. If you like
Fantastic.
seafood, down at Dex at South Bank. Stones across the board. So, and now if you go to the Gold Coast Guide, we've got some great Gold Coast offers there. And the idea is whenever you're travelling, you'll be able to fire up the app and just find a great place to try and get a great deal.
That's awesome. That's really exciting. Obviously, creating something this big would have been quite difficult, I can imagine. What sort of hiccups did you come across during the development?
Totally. Well, there's hundreds of hiccups. Anyone who's tried to sort of like build an app will know where we're going here.
Yeah.
Dealing with the Goliath like Apple, who are very controlling, like to change rules and what you can and can't do, and we keep trying to stretch the sort of like the boundaries of what you can and can't do. Building an app, it's not as easy as the 60 minutes report where it's $500 and you can then suddenly making $1 million.
Yeah.
You need a great team of people from tech to develop it, getting the content right, getting the marketing right. It's all these sort of like ingredients which make a great app.
Did you keep your development within Australia, or did you extend out of the country?
We did look at going out of the country. It's sort of often seen as the cheap and easy way to build an app. We did it all in Australia. We were quite fortunate that the Commercialisation Australia program, which is a government program, decided to fund the project, and so that has meant we've been able to keep jobs in Australia, which is great for everyone here.
That's
Definitely.
fantastic.
And it's always supporting back us as well, not us because I don't have a restaurant or anything, but people with restaurants, bars, and stuff is going to support them as well.
Absolutely, and as a free marketing platform, the idea is they can just set up a promotion for this afternoon because it's a bit quiet. Like on Saturday when it was raining, often people don't like to go out, as we know, and so the ability they can just run a nice promotion just for the afternoon, which is what the power of mobile and location and instant you can offer.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really good to have everything just in your hand, I guess, ready to go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the idea of the last minute sort of deals that you can just sort of look at what's on tonight. I feel like going out to dinner and can find a good deal that's going
That's
on
it, and
locally.
also it gets away from the awkward pieces of paper. Going into it's not cool to be on a
print
date
things
like.
Going through half a tree by the end of the week,
That's it, and obviously, printer's not always convenient, so we took that out as well. So all you have to do is when you go to the venue, just show the phone, which is quite a nice experience, and swipe to redeem. That's how you redeem the offer.
That's awesome.
So what marketing techniques are you using at the moment, and what can the Brisbane community do to get behind you in this?
Thank you, Amber. Well, with marketing, I mean, anyone who with a smartphone, if you look at all the apps that you've got, not many of those you've actually seen on billboards or traditional advertising. And it's really, when I go for dinner with friends, it's a hot topic of, what apps have you got, what are you using? And so it's so important that word of mouth is, and it's got to be a great app. So people will talk about it and share. So we've made it so when you secure an offer, it's easy to share with friends, of course, through Facebook and Twitter. And we reward people. So if they've had their, once they've had 5 offers, they get the next one free. So really encouraging people to share and to help grow the app.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Alrighty, and we've been told that you actually have a bit of a surprise for us today. Can you fill us in a little about this?
Sure, so world exclusive here for 31 Digital. We've got it, so if you download the app today, so on Hungry Hero, on your Hero reward card, if you use the keyword digital, you'll get your first offer free. So
that's awesome.
Tell your friends and your family, download the app and you can try out for free.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
And sorry, is the app free or do you have to pay to get it or how does that work?
So it's a free download and then you can browse all the offers and then when you find the one you want, just simply pay $1 with a credit card and that secures your date and time.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And so all those payments are going through just through iTunes, I'm assuming, like your iTunes account?
I wish. With one of the developments, the hurdles with Apple is they don't allow you to use that in-app purchases for real-world items, and even though we think it's a virtual item, so we've done it with to use credit cards, and it's secure, and it saves your credit card on the phone, making it nice, just one click to secure those offers.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so with the rest of 247.com.au, what else have you got on there?
So with My 24/7, it's all about what's on, where to go. We've got a great My Movies app, so finding movie times, but Hungry Hero is going to save you and get you.
So Hungry Hero people, we'll leave it there and we'll see you after the break for some more sports and weather.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Welcome back to News Lounge. If you just joined us, we actually just had Amber sitting over where Georgie is now with, she's sitting next to me actually. All good. We had Chris Kettle sitting over where Georgie was talking about his new app, Hungry Hero.
How did that go, Tom?
It was fantastic. It looks awesome. Like I did say, I have downloaded it this morning. It is an absolutely fantastic app. And as Chris did mention, we've got that special offer for our 31 Digital viewers. If you use the keyword digital, then your first offer claim will be free.
That's fantastic. Sounds fantastic for students as well who may not have that much money.
Yes.
And we all know what it's like to be a poor uni student.
We've all been there, definitely.
Let's go to Catherine for some news headlines.
Thanks, guys. Queensland Health Minister Lawrence Springborg claims that recent changes to the health system will result in thousands of dollars being saved every fortnight. Mr. Springborg says the challenges already made a significant difference with overpayments dropping from $1.3 million a fortnight to $65,000. Finalists have been announced for the 41st Annual Country Music Awards in Australia. Among the nominees is Harmony James, the 2012 Queensland Music Award winner for Best Country Artist, who has been nominated for a number of awards next year. The event will be staged at the Tamworth Regional Entertainment and Conference Centre on Australia Day 2013. And in some breaking news, guys, if you missed our last segment, you can get that Hungry Hero app for free and also get a free meal out of it. So make sure you jump on that one. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Catherine. Now we're going to head straight over to Georgie for the sports.
Thanks, guys. In local cricket, University of Queensland bowler Scott Walter is hopeful he'll end a 2-year hiatus from State One days after being named in the 12-man Queensland Bull squad to take on Tasmania in Hobart. In the Bull squad, Walter joins university teammates Chris Hartley, Peter Forrest and Nathan Reardon. The Socceroos won a 2-1 victory over South Korea last night. It was a nail-biting finish, with Robert Cornthwaite scoring the winner with just a minute left, following Nikita Rukatevetsia's first half goal. Only appearing in the squad Monday, Cornthwaite was surprised to start, let alone grab the winner. Former Australian Test opener Simon Katich is set to join English team Lancashire next year. The batsman considered returning to Australia to play, but has decided to continue his playing career at Old Trafford. Western Bulldogs forward Zephania Skinner has quit the AFL. Bulldogs list manager Jason McCartney explained Zephania wished to return home to Nunkamba in remote Western Australia to spend more time with his family and community. Skinner was drafted from the Northern Territory Thunder with pick 88 in the 2010 NAB AFL draft. In an overnight decision, Wallabies lock Rob Simmons has been hit with an 8-week ban for dangerous tackling. Fronting an IRB judiciary hearing last night, the unexpected results mean Scott Higginbotham could be rushed to Europe to replace him in this weekend's test with England. The ban, to expire on the 24th of February next year, leaves only 2 fit specialist locks for the Wallabies. The team says they are considering an appeal. And for all those beach lovers out there, a paddleboard race and surf comp is being held on the Sunshine Coast over the weekend. Ocean Addicts Power of the Paddle has divisions across all ages and is being held in conjunction with Coolum's Golden Days Music Festival. Registration is still open. Canberra golf pro Matthew Miller is one of 8 players who has started with a birdie at the Talisker Australian Masters this morning. Queenslander Bronson Lacassie, Victorian Peter Wilson and amateur Nathan Holman also opened with birdies, cashing in on the opening par 5. Tournament favourite Adam Scott teed off this morning at 7:40 a.m, along with Northern Irishman Graham McDowell in this morning's feature group. And good news for Pakistani cricketer and refugee Fawad Ahmed, as his long and anxious wait is finally over. The sportsman has been granted permission from Federal Immigration Minister Chris Bowen to stay in Australia on a permanent visa to work and play cricket. Shane Watson will need to improve his performance if he wishes to be selected for the Test squad. High performance manager Pat Howard has taken a similar stance to captain Michael Clark, who made it clear Watson's was not an automatic selection. Watson is batting, coming under ever-increasing scrutiny, and with good reason. His average is just 37, with only 2 centuries from 35 tests. Howard categorically ruled out Watson, playing as a batsman only in the second test against South Africa, beginning in Adelaide next week. And that's all we have for In Sport today. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, Georgie. That's great. So now we're going to head ahead a little bit offbeat with our events recap sort of thing today. We're getting a bit close to Christmas, and everyone knows that's the time where you get a bit jolly, perhaps have a few too many eggnogs, and let your hair down a fair bit.
That's right, Tom. If you love the 70s, make sure you head to the Solid Gold Disco at the Stage Door Dinner Theatre in Bowen Hills. The retro beats are cranking tonight, so get dressed up and head out for a great dinner and show.
I would love to see you dressed up in 70s stuff, Marissa.
I would not, so I think
So
I'll
is
be
that a
giving
no?
that one a little bit of a bypass.
Oh, well, that's no fun. I'll be
I
there
know.
in my platforms, which
That's
I
it,
have to wear
that's
anyway
it.
because I'm quite short.
Look at that.
Yes, but that's all right. Also tonight at the Boundary Hotel in West End is hosting Queen's Bingo. And Miss Synthetic, is going to host that one. It's free to play and you can win yourself some fantastic prizes, including a meat tray, venue vouchers, cash, and other fantastic prizes.
Have you ever played bingo?
I'm a bit of a... no. I wouldn't
Not
say
a bingo
so, no.
fan. Have you guys ever played bingo before?
I think once when I was on a cruise ship I did, and ended up actually winning money, but I think that was a bit of dumbfound luck, really.
Georgie, never played bingo?
No, I haven't, but if for meat trays up for grabs, I might head along. Meat trays, pretty
Georgie,
good prize.
yeah, love you, mate, don't you, George?
That's it.
Love it.
And finally, you can jump on board the Island Party Hello Sailor Day Cruise to see Brisbane's popular drag queen Alexi Page. Alexi will be showing glamorous frocks and jewellery any fashionista would be jealous
That
of.
one would be a sight for sore eyes, wouldn't it,
It would
Marissa?
be.
It
The
really
fun
would.
kicks off on Saturday and is apparently great for you party people looking to meet some like-minded individuals. What do you guys think about
to that one, will you, Maritza?
Ah, definitely be heading along to that one. You guys in?
Yeah.
Don't see why not. I'll just have to borrow one of your dresses if that's all right. Fit right in.
Yeah.
Sadly.
That's right, just put some nice chunky jewellery on and a little bit of makeup and you can fit in great.
That's it. I'm quite interested about the showing glamorous frocks and jewels. Any fashionista would envy. That's the part that that
It really just
interests
you.
me. It's a deal breaker for me.
Well, I'm not much of a fashionista, so to speak.
I
But-
debate that.
Oh, thanks, Maritza. That's so kind of you. That's all right. What about you, George? You got many plans for the weekend?
It's actually my dad's 50th birthday, so we've got a
Happy birthday,
Dad.
Mr. Chumbly.
But yeah, I've got to get him a present first. Hopefully, he's not watching.
Awkward.
I'm cutting it a bit close there, Georgie.
I
Leaving it to the
am.
last minute for that present choice, aren't you?
Yes.
Any plans
yes.
for the weekend, Catherine?
No, not at the moment. I think I might be doing an event for a music school and helping out there. But so I'll get some bit of musical and arts into me. But apart from that, it should be just a nice weekend. I think relaxing.
Sounds wonderful.
Gonna keep it local, as we
Yes.
love to say here.
Keep it local.
Keeping it local.
That's all we have time for today. Join us again tomorrow for another great show.
Another great show tomorrow will happen. That's all right. Well, we're not actually going to leave you right this very second. We're going to keep talking for a little bit, just another 4 seconds. But enjoy your day, guys. Have a lovely
great
Thursday.
day.
See you tomorrow.